All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 48, our weekly Solo Man podcast where we get to talk about everything, news, reviews, discussions, announcements, updates, everything PSVR2 related. My name's AJ. What is up, all of you people? Hope you're having a great time out there. Happy Thursday, baby. And boy, oh boy, do we have so much to talk about today. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. We got some new games announced, something I got right before the show even started that I had to add to the show because it's interesting enough. We'll see how you guys feel about it as well. Two new games that dropped today that we're going to talk about. And of course, several other major updates to some games that I think you're going to want to hear about. So can't wait to get started. And in fact, let's go ahead and kick things off. But before we do, I just want to say, guys, I'm ready. That's right. If you follow me on Twitter, hopefully you do. If you have a Twitter, if you don't, I don't blame you, or X or whatever the hell it's called these days. I like to follow it for a lot of different reasons, mainly PSVR2. Sometimes there's a cool sale that pops up. Shout out to Wario64. If you have Twitter, you probably know who he is because he's always posting deals. I was able to grab this bad boy for $20. $20, which I, of course, retweeted. Hopefully you got to grab a copy yourself. But I'm ready, man, for the next big AAA PSVR2 title in Resident Evil 4. Cannot wait for this game. That's why I'm rolling the trailer. Gonna be a free update coming this winter. We'll not stop talking about it because this is it, man. This is the big one, the big kahuna right here. This is, of course, Interactive Chat. Welcome, guys. I like to interact with you guys, let you sometimes steer the show a little bit into different conversations, discussions, and whatnots. And I also just like to say hi, just like hello to Chrome Colossus, Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat, Elite Name Squad in the house, Mark Smith, good day to you, Kiwi D, hello, good evening, Mr. Cat, Cape Canaveral, what's up, Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, Mr. Death Lee, the Death Cat, my homie G, Silver Nexus, good to see you, my dude, JH, good to see you as well, all of you, did I miss anybody? Looper, of course, and Melchiah, the Soul Reaving Game Cat. He's back, baby. Razio. I miss Soul Reaver. Bad Robo, what's up, dude? And Lewis. Lewis, I'm going to go ahead and answer Lewis's question here. Lewis says, Hellsweeper, worth it now after the updates that increase the graphics? No. By all accounts, Hellsweeper seems to have really good gameplay. I did play it a little bit. At launch, it was awful graphically. It was awful. Now it's just kind of lame graphically, where it's not horrible and blurry as it was, but it still just looks very unimpressive. They've already given a roadmap for Hellsweeper, saying that they're going to, by latest, maybe early Q1 2024, they'll have an update for it. Wait for that, because that's what I'm doing. Hellsweeper was one of my most anticipated games, and I want to play it the way, even though it's like playable now and like graphically it's not horrible, but it's just not good either. The gameplay seems fine and everything. I am definitely holding off because I want to experience that game the way that it was intended to be experienced, and I highly recommend you do the same. So guys, wow, we have tons to talk about today, so let's not mess around any further. Let's go ahead and kick things off with the top 10 downloads. Let me move over here a little bit. Top 10 downloads of October. This is, of course, the digital only for PSVR2. Let's see how the games did. I like this thing each month. I like to look at this and go over it briefly. At number 10, we've got Hubris, which was excellent. That was on sale, I think, for like $20. I'm a big fan of Hubris. Generic sci-fi story, but really quality, I think. Like, especially, I think it actually made for a really good shooter. It's got a good variety of mechanics. And graphically, it looks really, really nice. So I've said before, I think I recommended this one, gave it the thumbs up. Let's see here. Hasib Mirza, what's up, dude? I see you. I'll touch on that in a second. At number 9, we've got The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution Championship Edition Turbo DX EX 2 Plus. Of course, another game, one of my top 5 probably for PSVR2. Excellent quality game. Goes on sale quite a bit. There's also going to be a physical edition coming out this month, middle of this month, I think. At number 8, this is a surprising one to me. Angry Birds VR Isle of Pigs. Now, I did a quick review of it, like, touch little base on it a couple of weeks ago or something, and like, it's okay. Like, it's not bad. It's just not really my thing. I kind of feel like it's more of a kid's game, but it's not really what I'm looking for when it comes to PSVR 2 in terms of scope and whatever. But good on it, because basically nobody talked about this game. So it's surprising that there must have been some people out there. I know not in our community, nobody really cares, but still nice to see them have a little bit of success. And at number 7, speaking of success, the former number 1 most downloaded game of September, Hasib Mirza says Crossfire might be the most underrated game by the internet. I could not agree more, my friend. At number 7, we've got Crossfire Sierra Squad, which is just an insanely good first-person shooter. It's more for those that want a single-player or co-op experience, which is my cup of tea. I know we got Pavlov on here, which we'll get into a second. But really, man, after the manual reloading update, and now you can play realism mode from the get-go. Also, they added another update post all this, where now you can just turn the HUD off for any mode. So if realism is too difficult, you can now turn the HUD off for any of the modes, which was like really, to me, the main appeal of realism mode. Was I just didn't like the HUD. You can turn that off, make it look less arcadey and stuff. This game is legit, man. I kid you not. This game is like around top 5 territory for me. Honestly, between this and Pavlov, I've got them kind of ranked right next to each other. But it's more so about like, what do you prefer? If you prefer a single player or co-op thing, then it's Crossfire. If you prefer PvP, then and social stuff, then it's Pavlov. But man, they both have a lot to offer. Number 6, we've got an interesting one. The Seventh Guest, which came out during spooky season by Vertigo Games. The Seventh Guest, man, we're going to get into that tonight. That had a significant update, and I'm going to share with you later why it is time for me to finally fully dive in and commit to this puzzle game. Can't wait to share. Very, very, very soon we'll be talking about that. At number 5, I think we're at, we've got Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, which, actually didn't even chart in the EU side, which is interesting. But, Ghostbusters is a beloved IP, so I expected it, and it had lots of marketing and stuff. So I, halfway expected it to do around this point. It's an okay game. It's nothing special, but it definitely makes me angry thinking about how much more it could have been. But I just hope that there's more Ghostbusters VR to explore in the future, is really, because this ain't for me. At number 4, we've got Pavlov, which, like I said, is also one of the best first-person shooters. I think at this time I'd probably say Crossfire or Pavlov are the best FPS on the platform. And like I said, it depends on if you like PvP or if you like solo and co-op. At number 3, this warms my heart. Cross region, we've got Propagation Paradise Hotel. And the cool thing about this, guys, is that this just shows that, the VR community, the PSVR 2 community, games will do well and sell well by word of mouth here. That is basically what we have to go on, because VR is so different than flat screen. There's not really tons of known IPs or things. There's a lot of new things being introduced. So it's really, really encouraging to see that a little, unknown developer to the mainstream, to whoever, making this Propagation Paradise Hotel, random name, everything, have this kind of success. Really, really great to see. I hope you all went out and played it for spooky season, because in my opinion, this was the best new game to release last month. So this was the best game to drop in October. And so it's really, really encouraging to see it hit the charts at such a high place. That is great, man. So good. Cannot recommend it enough if you love Resident Evil and VRAF mechanics. At number 2, here's another interesting one. We've got the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, which of course last month was getting a lot of buzz too, from myself included. They really, really turned this game around. Not only was this on sale, but it's had the big graphical overhaul that took it from looking like one of the worst PSVR2 games to one of the best, legitimately one of the best looking games. They also added this horde mode, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Got another 3-4 hours out of the game, which really is more than what I got. No, the whole game I think originally took me like 3 hours or so, 4 hours maybe. And I got that just from this mode alone. So was pretty awesome. Definitely well deserved here, and it's really nice to see them continuing to support this game. And I hope to see more, because this is the closest thing to a House of the Dead kind of thing we have in VR, and that's great. At number 1, the king has returned to claim its throne. Beat Saber is back at number 1. It's been interesting seeing Beat Saber not be number 1 after always being number 1 for like 2 or 3 years straight. I'll tell you what, man, I like seeing the change up in the top 10 games. I really got tired of seeing the same games, Job Simulator and Beat Saber and Super Hot, whatever. Some of these are great games and all, but you really you want to see a new game release, and you want to see, first of all, it be good, and then secondly, people buying it and playing it. That's also really, really important. It gives developers more incentive to want to bring their game to this. But I love seeing Propagation on here. I love that Crossfire is still on here. Seventh Guest, well done. Saints and Sinners, Hubris. These are all pretty top-notch games. So it's nice to see a lot of games that I root for, I will say, hitting this top 10 charts. All right. Funky Slaw says, AJ, do you still play Beat Saber? I'm glad you asked. So they released the Rolling Stones update, and I went and I checked that out, and it's pretty good. I don't like the new songs by Rolling Stones. Yes, there are new songs as part of that. I don't care for their new stuff, but I really, really liked the mapping in Painted Black, which is like one of my favorite Rolling Stone songs, if not my favorite. And I love Painted Black. I love Gimme Shelter. Can't Get No Satisfaction is pretty good. They all seem to have pretty good mapping and stuff. So definitely enjoyed it. So yeah, I did jump into Beat Saber for a little bit. It also is really good and therapeutic for my shoulder, which I injured a year ago. Beat Saber actually has really, really good therapeutic properties playing it. So it really helps heal my shoulder, which is nice. But yeah, man, so good stuff. I can't wait to see what's gonna be popping this month. Of course, we're just underway. But before we get into the new releases today, we've got some new news and discussions taking place. Let's get into some of these few announcements and then have a quick discussion on something real quick. Look at something that was kind of revealed recently. All You Are Is History says half the pack is new songs. Yes, that's true. Which is why I like half the pack. But at that point, you just buy the whole thing because it's cheaper to, you still pay the same amount for buying individual songs. So it's just worth just buying the whole pack at that point. But for Painted Black, I would, yeah, like if I only had to buy one song off the Beat Saber pack, Rolling Stones, Painted Black, easily. Super fun. What is up, Hooked Worm? Can't wait to share some early impressions on all this stuff, man. Got a lot to talk about. But first, we got some news. We got a new trailer from Breachers. There's not a whole lot to talk about here, but Breachers is, I believe, coming out this month, is what they said, and they're going to be sharing more soon. But we got some cool little look at some graphical enhancements that the PSVR2 version will be getting. They've of course mentioned that this game will have like haptics, adaptive triggers, things like that. And this is of course the 5v5 tactical shooter with a couple different game modes and whatnot, a couple different maps. A lot of people are hoping this will replace their the disappointment that Firewall was, which, you know, I'm still waiting, giving Firewall a little bit more time to get some updates. I'm really hoping they pull a Hello Games here, because I love Firewall and I miss it, but every time I try to play it, I'm just like, it's just becoming a waste of time at this point. Like, I want to wait for like a real overhaul of that game. But we got some cool clarification. They have confirmed for Breachers, which by the way has very positive reviews right here. Native 120 hertz, no reprojection, for those that don't like that thing. So hopefully this means it'll look pretty smooth. Now, as we've seen with stuff like Vampire the Masquerade and whatnot, that sometimes even 120 hertz native isn't enough for some people. It's got to actually hit that frame rate, keep that frame rate steady. So if it's got the smooth, silky frame rate, that'll be really nice. But yeah, man, they also mentioned some additional lighting and bloom, and I think increased texture detail, stuff like that for Breachers. So gonna be keeping my eye on this one. Really, really looking forward to playing it. And by all accounts, it sounds like it's pretty darn good. So really looking forward to that. I like the more tactical approach to this. I also just want to zip line and crash through a window. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I live for in VR. I don't play VR to you know, I don't know. I love stuff about that, like VR. I know a lot of games try to play it safe. There's at least, you know, from bigger companies and stuff sometimes, but you know, I love the crazy shit. Let me jump out of a window, or let me fall down a building and then crash through the window and shoot some bad guys and stuff. That's what I want to do, man. That's what I live for. So moving on, we had another announcement today. We have this was a game that was released today on like PC and I think Quest and stuff. And I have not really been following this, but I got a little bit of new information that I would definitely want to share. And that is Demeo Battles, the PvP version of Demeo, is coming to PlayStation VR 2 in 2024, as I got from an email. And been hearing some pretty decent things about this. I've got a little bit of a fact sheet that they sent me. Shout out to Resolution Games. Now, if you guys don't know, I freaking love Demeo. Like, I love Demeo. I have a Demeo shirt. I should have worn it. But this is, of course, they're trying to build things off of the Demeo IP and the mechanics and everything. And this is their first new spin-off project called Demeo Battles, where you're basically doing it's a 1 to 4 player PvP. You can team up with another player to do 2v2, or you can just solo 1v1. Yeah, man, I'm kind of interested. I'm not usually into PvP, but if these are like shorter rounds and don't take 3 hours, and you know, if these take like 20-minute rounds or something, I would be into this. I would be into this if this is a more pick up and play for 20-30 minutes at a time, have some fun with it. But I've got a fact sheet here that I'm gonna bring up here, and let's take a look at some of the features here. Nope, that was the wrong one. Boom. This is from the thing they sent me. Demeo Battles features 10 distinct areas set in iconic Demeo environments and balanced for competitive play. 10 areas is pretty cool. 7 playable champions with their own unique approach to combat. They've got the Hunter, Sorcerer, Assassin, Guardian, Bard, Warlock, and Barbarian. These were, of course, characters in the original game. 35 plus minions that players can choose from to form an army to bring into battle. That'll be interesting to see. 85 plus action cards that deliver everything from poisoned arrows to barricades and ballistas to deploy on the road to victory. This is what I like to see right here. 40 single player challenges to help players sharpen their skills for tactical triumph. This right here has my attention because when it comes to online stuff, you know, I'm not primarily, I've said before 1,000 times, I'm not primarily a multiplayer gamer. I like single player games, and I like co-op. That's my favorite form of multiplayer, is co-op gameplay, not PvP. So this 40 challenge levels, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions about Demeo is that it can only be played multiplayer. No, that is not true. I played 20 hours, 30 hours of that game single player, and I played maybe about 10 hours multiplayer. The multiplayer is really, really fun. It's some of the best multiplayer I've played, but it does not have to be multiplayer. It can also be played single player. So it would be cool if this is a similar deal where it's like, yeah, it's, you know, it's popular for being a multiplayer PvP thing, but hey, you can actually enjoy the same entire experience single player. Because I love this game. I was really sad that they finished supporting Demeo right as it came to PSVR2, because I was really looking forward to new campaigns like every couple months. I hope that they go back to that model and like, hey, like, you know, either make a Demeo 2 or just like, here's a new campaign for the game, because I thoroughly enjoyed this game. But yeah, this looks like it could be fun. There's a mechanic to it that I like. Let's get back to the fact sheet here. 1v1 and 2v2 multiplayer. So you can allowing you to control your team solo or share the glory with the teammate. This is the interesting new mechanic. This kind of borrows from some of the Fortnites and what are those? What is that genre called? Battle Royale. The burn that slowly creeps in from the every edge of the board, pushing champions together for late game scenarios that get up close and personal. I really like the addition of this, where it kind of forces the players out and to get into each other. Cross-platform play, which is nice. And then mixed reality, which obviously is not for us. But so this game released today for Steam and Quest, $20 it looks like. And they said that it'll arrive to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR2 next year. So really, really looking forward to seeing more on this. You know, it's interesting. We've got this and we've got the Moss game, Moss Champions, Glass Champions, whatever. It's kind of an interesting approach where it's like, you know, I like the main game, but you know, I try to be open-minded. I'm forced to play so much stuff I don't want to play anyways, and then I play it and I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. So maybe this will be one of those scenarios. But all right. So looking forward to hearing more on that. Not really sounding like my thing, but maybe that single player content will get me something good. What up, Jay Meow? Good to see you, homie. Yes, I've got Galaxy Karts on the docket tonight. But first, guys, before we get into the new updates for all the games, there's some huge updates today. And within the last few days that you don't want to miss out on. I want to have a bit of a discussion regarding an article that just dropped the other day. I don't remember. I think it was yesterday. But this is about a new patent that was filed by Sony Corp. And this comes to us via Game Rant. And basically, it is a patent that they discovered, and it says Sony's newly filed patent suggests that the PlayStation VR2 may soon incorporate gaze tracking and other features into non-VR games, potentially enhancing the gaming experience for PlayStation 5 players. The patent describes a system that focuses on rendering the region players are looking at in higher resolution, improving frame rates and graphical details in the designated area. While the patent offers promising improvements to PlayStation VR2, it does not indicate an imminent announcement or system software update. Sony may still be developing and refining these features before releasing them in the future. Now, let me tell you what I like about this is that it's nice to see some R&D still going on with the PlayStation VR2, because to be honest with you, if I had to guess, I think the PlayStation VR2, if I had to guess how many sales, where it's at right now, I would probably guess somewhere around 1 million. That's what I would think is somewhere close to 1 million, if not around it. A couple months back, 6 months after launch, they had reported that like within 6 weeks or something, or I don't remember how much time had passed, but they had already sold like 600,000. And here's the thing, that's okay. It's doing better than PlayStation VR did. But here's the thing, if Sony really played their cards right and really handled this properly, the PlayStation VR2 should have easily sold 4 times as much as PlayStation VR. And so that's the thing. While it's nice that, you know, there's a slow growth, there's a slow build, I really think if I had to call it anything, I would not call it the most successful management, and that's putting it nicely, as you've seen before. I really think if PSVR2 had better marketing, had better messaging, had better features, aside from just gaming, I really feel like if they put like half the effort that Meta puts into their marketing and stuff, this thing should have and would have sold at least 4 times. Now, this is the interesting thing here with stuff like this patent. Now, we know that Jim Ryan is out. Jim Ryan is retiring at somewhere in March or April, something like that. Now they've got Hiroki Totoki stepping in, and it's funny to already see some things like this, some patents. It'll be interesting to see. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they need to totally relaunch the PSVR 2. In all honesty, I think we've gotten some really good stuff. You know, it launched with Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village. That's what basically the hope and the dream was. We love our indie games, we love our smaller titles, but what's going to sell this thing, what's going to make this thing generate buzz are the AAA games converted to VR. And obviously there could have been setbacks due to the pandemic, due to other things. I think the biggest setback was probably Jim Ryan. But you know, and there's no guarantee that things are going to turn around and be great. But I do believe that is going to be the case. And it would be nice if they, you know, while the hardware, I think, doesn't have any problem itself, there's definitely lots of like firmware updates, software updates that it could use to really, really polish this thing up and make it a fully fleshed out featured thing. You know, something like a 3D home environment or whatever, a 3D movie player, a theater app. You know, they have that Sony Pictures Core app, whatever that's called now. I forget I don't know if that's the new name or the old name. It'll be interesting, stuff like that. And then now you have this patent that comes out, and then now patents should always be taken with a grain of salt, because we don't actually, just because they're researching stuff, it does show that they're researching this, that they're putting some R&D into it, but this doesn't always guarantee it's going to make it into the final product. However, this would be a pretty cool one. Introducing the ability to use eye tracking to increase performance of non-VR games and applications. could bring an interesting thing about. In particular, what I would love to see. Now, I'm all about 90% VR AF, first person, interactive stuff. That is how I like to play. That is the new experience to me. But then there is kind of like an alternative. I don't think just because that's the main thing I like, I don't think it has to be entirely limited to that. It would be really interesting to see if this is something that they could use to enable playing flat screen games in VR, where basically your head is the in-game camera and you play like that. I would be more than down to have something like this if it's just an option, whatever. I think it certainly wouldn't hurt, but to be able to place yourself into the 3D environments and stuff in any single game. I've experimented with this before, and it can still be very fun, very immersive. It's not necessarily like immersive in terms of like that one-to-one immersion effect where it's like you're reaching out and grabbing stuff and interacting with it, but it is immersive in terms of being immersed in the world. And looking at like what Meta's doing, where they're supporting PSVR, I'm sorry, where they're supporting like Xbox, like you can play Xbox stuff. I have a feeling that is maybe what's making them kind of trigger this patent or this research is to what can we do? We have an entire PS5 ecosystem, and none of the VR players want anything to do with it. This would be a really good way to kind of mend the two in a way where VR players could have a reason to play flat screen games, and maybe flat screen gamers could have a reason to try out VR. I think especially people that aren't super interested in VR, this would be a great way to introduce them to it. I only see benefits here in doing that. What's it gonna hurt not having having this? It's not gonna hurt anything, that's for sure. It can only help, even if it's not a major scale boost kind of thing. I only see it as a good thing at the end of the day. And I hope this is just the beginning, man. Like I said, with the changes in leadership coming, the best I hope for is kind of they look at what they did with PSVR2 and they say, this was an okay launch, all things considered. But really we could do better, that we could sell this thing. Again, in my opinion, PSVR2 easily should have sold 4 times the amount of PSVR1. Everybody wanted PSVR2, but it was just lack of marketing, lack of communications, all sorts of things, one after the other, that kind of have, while it's doing okay, while it's slowly growing, it is not even close to hitting its full stride yet. And this could be just another one of those things, and hopefully introduces flat screen gaming into VR, a way to do that, and seeps its way into other apps like movie theater apps or concert apps. It baffles me still to this day that Sony has their own movie picture company and or movie studio, movie productions. You got stuff like The Last of Us. They make an Uncharted movie. They make a Gran Turismo movie. This is all stuff I would love to watch with friends in VR, in 3D and stuff. So it's like, dude, you guys are just burning money. So I hope to see that this is the start, and I hope that this is a sign. Seeing this research and development pop up, this patent pop up, show that they are going to plan on. They're not even done, with PSVR 2 in terms of like features and things like that. I believe and I hope that this is just the beginning. Let's start it off with games. Now we got some new leadership. Let's hopefully some leadership. Again, it could go south. It could go even more south. Hopefully not. Hopefully this is a sign of the opposite, where it's like, no, we like PlayStation VR is good. People like, a lot of people really like it. But it needs to be more. And hopefully this is just the beginning. But yeah, it was nice to see that article. I'm glad Game Rant brought it up. Pretty cool stuff. So now let's get into some games, you guys, because wowee, Beard of Power 666, you are right on time, my friend, because the first thing we are talking about, the first update, is to the seventh guest. Now, disclaimer, the seventh guest, it has not had the contrast changed, but what it did have is, you can see me jumping with joy. First off, I start out right away, and the first thing I notice, I started a new game. The first thing I notice is that there's haptics. There's haptics in the orbs, and I'm so excited. Look at me. Look at me. I'm like, yes, yes, woohoo, haptics, baby. Oh, and it feels good. But yeah, man, but that's not it, man. So that was like one of my things when I first played the seventh guest. You know, I was very split on it. I was very divided because while I felt like it was a good game, I love spooky stuff. I love horror games. I don't like puzzle games, but I'm willing to look past that if there's some other cool things. But the big problem I had was, like, this game looked like a quest game and felt like a quest game. And it's like, no, if I wanted that, I'd go buy a quest. I don't want to play that. I have a PSVR2 for a reason, because I want to take advantage of the hardware and stuff. Well, guys, I'm happy to say, while, thank you, Silabino85, while the game still has the same contrast thing where it's like, it's not, the blacks are not super dark and black in every spot. Sometimes there's some gray stuff. What I will say is that not only did they add haptics and some good haptics, but they, guys, have completely redone the textures and the lighting. And that has made a huge difference for me. So I will be continuing my playthrough of this game finally, because it is time. If you were on the fence waiting for an update, it is absolutely time to grab this now. Even as a puzzle game, I'm freaking that excited, because it just looks, like I said, the contrast is still the same, but the textures, the lighting, looks so much better. Everything just looks a little bit more polished, looks a little bit more detailed and shiny, versus like this really washed out flat textures and all this stuff that it was at launch, which I was really surprised that people were, kind of giving it a pass, to be honest with you. I was like, well, I mean, that's great. I'm happy everyone's happy, but I'm not. Like, I want to like this game, but no, like, you can see I'm taking a really good look. You see how shiny it is? Look how shiny. Look, I try to give a good impression here. But no, you guys, it is good to go now. Like it looks really shiny, really polished. And the textures from everything from like inside the house, the wallpaper and stuff, like the walls and everything look so flat and boring and lifeless. And now it's just like, oh, it is just giving this game new life, man. With all this polish and textures and whatnot. But it's glorious, man. It's glorious. Like, I'm really excited to jump back in and continue my playthrough of this game. I was messing with the lights, with the even the flashlight looks better, or the lantern, I should say. But everything in the mansion looks a lot better. Now, as far as the contrast goes, like I said, it's mainly the same. But the good news is, once you solve puzzles in this game, the room turns like to light. The room kind of restores to its original state, and when they get rid of that little fogginess or whatever, the contrast looks really good. Everything looks bright and clear and colorful. So even though, like, I would have liked just a really, like, more saturated look at night and stuff, dude, this shit, I keep zooming this out and zooming this in. But it looks so freaking good now, man. It looks really, really good. All the textures, all the detail. Look, I look at the statue here and it's all shiny. You can see, even from the flat screen, you can kind of see like how polished and shiny it looks. It's great, man. It is super, super good news. Look at that. Look at that hallway, dude. The hallway of the mansion looks so good. Even the little butterfly thing and the little special effects look better. So if you can't tell, I'm super excited because I was like, even despite being a puzzle game, which I absolutely despise puzzles, I really wanted to like this game. I wanted to play this game, and I told myself, man, if it just like looked better and had some haptics and stuff, then I'd at least be able to suffer through the puzzles to enjoy the rest of it. And now I finally can. Dude, this mansion, I shrunk the screen at the wrong time. But the whole front lobby here looks fantastic. One last thing about Seventh Guest is that you can now play it sitting down. My other biggest complaint about this was that there was something wrong with the height, where if you tried to play sitting down, it's like you were like 3 feet tall, and that was really bothersome because this is the type of game. This game is perfect for like, hey, I don't need a crazy intense action-packed, thing. If I'm really tired after work, I just want to come home and sit down and play something. This is going to be that game for me. It's like, I want to play something in VR, but I'm really exhausted. It's like, well, now I've got something for me to play. So that's super nice. There's a height offset that you can do, and you can, it's like a slider, and you can manually adjust the height in the game. And now you can play it on, you can play it sitting down. So, Pietrek F says, I was playing sitting down from the beginning without issues. Are you 3 feet tall, Pietrek F? Because I was not able to. I mean, did you have to readjust the floor height or anything? If so, you're very, very lucky, because I was not. I tried playing sitting down. Julia tried playing it sitting down. Every time we tried to do it, man, we were 3 feet tall. Like, we were like the size of a bedside table. Yes, there was an option for seated mode, Pietrek. It didn't work. I'm glad it worked for you. It didn't work for me at all. But yes, it is fixed now. That's why they've added the height offset, is what I'm trying to tell you. They added a height offset for that issue because I couldn't play it sitting down. But it's awesome, man. It's good shit. It's great. I cannot wait. I've never been this excited to play a puzzle game in my life. Brooklyn Menace, what's up, dude? Says the Seventh Guest was my favorite VR puzzle game I've ever played. Excellent. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it, but I was really disappointed in the graphics and other things. So it's really, really nice that they've fixed all these little things, and it looks really, really nice, man. It looks beautiful. It looks like a PSVR2 game. That's what I want, man. I want to play games that look like PSVR2 games. Very, very good stuff. Anyways, awesome stuff, guys. So, Seventh Guest, I mean, obviously a lot of you bought it already, but 2 thumbs up now. I cannot wait to play through the rest of it. I'm really, really excited. Huge game for what it is. Easily, likely a top 20, top 25 game for me now once I continue through it. So very, very exciting. Good stuff, man. Thank you, Vertigo Games. Of course, this came after the Halloween update. This was supposed to be part of the Halloween patch, but that patch ended up breaking the game. There I am again, just so excited by the ore having haptics in it. Super cool, man. But yes, but that's not the only game to get an update. Today we've got Galaxy Kart. Galaxy Kart got racing wheel support, and let me tell you guys, I don't know about you, but if you haven't played it yet, you're gonna want to listen, because it took me a very long time to figure out how to even freaking play the game. So I don't know if this is the same for everyone else, but you have to play You have to play with the racing wheel. I'm playing with the Thrustmaster T150 Pro. You play with the racing wheel, but you also have to have an orb controller. And I'll be honest with you, at first I was not super crazy about this. It's really, really weird. But I did get used to it. I did get used to it, and it started to feel a little bit better. Old Darth says, is there force feedback? If there is, it's very light, but I would mostly say no. In terms of like really good resistant force feedback and stuff, no. It's very basic wheel support. It's about as basic as it gets. They've also added 3 new levels, which you get to. This is also all gameplay footage of the brand new levels. I'm just showing parts of it because I did a lot of work before the show to try and grab some clips and everything. But yeah, you have to drive it with basically one hand, and then you have the other hand for using the weapons. All Yours History says no force feedback, they said on Discord earlier. That would make sense because I didn't feel anything in terms of thing. And that honestly was a little disappointing because I was like, going from playing Gran Turismo 7, the latest Spec 2 update to this, it's tough, man. It's tough because, at the end of the day, I like this game. But I don't love it. And I still think, unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is just my opinion. I still think this game is just kind of average. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think I kind of feel like, it's the best kart racer we have because it's basically the only kart racer. Now, to be fair, I do kind of like it more than Dash Dash World. Would I get to play on that? But I didn't think Dash Dash World was very good to begin with. Honestly, it was very underwhelming. So I do think that this is better. And like this game has had some fun. I have had some fun with this, which is kind of more than what I can say about Dash Dash World. But it's nice that it's starting to feel like it's getting to the point to where it justifies that $20 price point. This game is still, and for me, unless you just got some extra money burning a hole in your pocket, this is still kind of like a wait on sale kind of thing. Or if you have a wheel set up, hey, you've got something else to play with the wheel. I know some of the cats really, really like playing multiplayer with each other with this game. I don't think I've really played a lot of multiplayer. Maybe I'm missing out on something, but in regards to these new tracks, I like the design of them. So it reuses some of the old ones, which I was like, oh, but there's a little bit, one thing this game I will say does really, really well is that hidden path, in like on classic kart racer mechanics, there's always like hidden paths you can take to get shortcuts, and there's like, shortcuts you can find and stuff. And this is obviously ways you hit every turbo, you find every shortcut, use all your weapons. All these things combine really nicely. They do a really good job with this. At that design, the layout, I love in this level how you jump up and you ramp and you take a shortcut on one of that planet's like rings, and then you hit the turbos, and then you got to jump back onto the track. It's really cool, really creative, and pretty good stuff overall. So while this, again, I don't know if it's just because of the recency of playing Gran Turismo, which is literally a life-altering experience. Like such an experience, mind-blowing. I mean, that is tough competition. This game going against Gran Turismo has zero chance. But as another game, not trying to really put it up against each other, it does have some things to offer. Perhaps maybe if you like multiplayer as well, there's some good things here. It's not like the premier kart racer that I want it to be, but it's okay. It's okay. It went from being a disaster, dumpster fire of a launch to being an okay game now, is how I feel. So, yeah, not bad. Keep up the work on the game. I think if they continue to flesh it out and stuff, it could maybe get there, but it's not really there yet. One thing I will point out is that this game does still have some kind of janky performance issues, like sometimes some hitching in the frame rate, some chugs in the frame rate, slowdowns, things like that. So just a word of caution if you're sensitive to stuff like that. This game is not about the performance, not about the technical aspects of the game by any means. It's just about just it being basically just a simple, silly kart racer. And it does have some good things to offer. There's a lot of charm here. There are some good designs and stuff. But I still think just at the end of the day, it's just okay. It hasn't like super grabbed me yet. But they're on the right track. All right. So that is it for the updates of recent time. Seventh Guest, absolutely the big winner here. Highly recommend now. We got 2 new games today, but before I get to those, first of all, I want to say thank you, J Meow, for the 99-cent donation, but even more for the unicorn emoji thing. Appreciate the support, man, as always. Macho times 3, the real state, Game Cat, with the donation. Thank you again for the support. Thank you guys always for all of your support. You keep the channel running, and you keep this thing moving along. And yeah, man, it's the state that we are in, man. It is crazy. There are so many games. It is hard to keep up with everything at this point. Like, I am drowning. So I only have enough free time to pick and choose at this point. Like, what do I want to play? What do I want to, and I don't even get to complete everything like I used to, which is really what I like to do, but I haven't had the time. Says, love you, AJ. Shout out to you, Macho. Love you back, brother. Says, Barbaria is so much fun. I love it. Hashtag COC. Very cool, man. Yeah, about to talk about Barbaria in just a second. But first, I want to give a mention to the other game that came out called Kill It with Fire. This is a brand new game that just came out today as well, I believe, and is basically a very simplistic kind of concept of a game where you're essentially just running around and you're trying to find spiders and then kill them. But yeah, man. So this game graphically, it's nice and sharp and clear and colorful. There's full locomotion which is nice, but it is on the more of the low poly side in terms of like detail, textures, and things. This is obviously a small team, if not like a one-man team. And it's supposed to be kind of like one of those job simulator sort of style games. It reminds me of like Job Simulator or Just in Time, something like that, where it's kind of got like, it's charming, it's got some humor and stuff. And I was starting out in this game, and I'll be honest with you, I was starting this game, and I was like really not impressed at first. Like, I was like, ugh, like another one of these, like, just kind of supposed to be funny, but it's not. These games are not typically my type of thing. And this game honestly is not my type of thing, but I still wanted to play it and give some impressions. And what I played was okay. Like I said, this is going to be a tough one because this is not my type of game at all. This is not what I care about in VR. I feel like I would have enjoyed something like this a lot more last gen. In terms of like scope and design and everything, it seems like it would have been a really good first gen VR title, especially having like full locomotion, smooth turning, things like that. But here's the thing. I'm not afraid of spiders, and I kill lots of spiders all the time. So to me, this is like this is nothing new for me. The difference here is that there are some mechanics here where you get lots of weapons, lots of different upgrades. You get like a flamethrower that I have right now. You get a revolver that you can shoot the bugs with and stuff, and that makes it a little bit more fun. A little bit more fun. But at the end of the day, this game just really isn't my thing. But that's basically what the game is you're going around and you're uncovering, you're opening drawers, you're lifting up books, you're going through all this stuff, and you're trying to seek out the spiders, and then you use these tools that you collect to kill them all in different ways, whether it be with books, with a flamethrower, with a gun, with other stuff. And if you're like super sensitive to spiders and stuff like that, maybe. But here's the thing: I started PSVR. Like I jumped into the VR generation with Farpoint, talking about giant 5-foot spiders jumping into your face that look realistic. So this is like nothing for me. I don't really like the job simulator graphics. Don't do it for me. This is like one of those kind of gimmicky concept games that, it's like okay. It's not like horrible or anything, but it's just not what I'm looking for. It's not for me. It's not that it's poorly designed or anything. Like, I think it's fine. It's fine, but but it's just not for me. So it's kind of hard to judge this one, where it's not really my thing. This one, I don't know how much it is, but to me, it seems like, depending on the price, I think it's $15. Unless you're just like, think you would have a ton of fun with this, I would very much be like, this is a deep sale kind of thing, or just, pass on it. I didn't feel like I was playing anything special here. It didn't scare me. It wasn't like any super creative game loop or anything. Again, it's well designed, but it's just nothing. It's like nothing really surprising or exciting to me. Didn't really do it for me, but yeah, it's okay. I'm not crazy about it. I would say pass personally. But what I will not say pass on are these donations real quick. Stingray X, thank you so much with the rock on symbols. Thank you so much for the $3 donation. I appreciate you. Nihilus Ryan, my metal feline friend, says, AJ, you're a badass. Much love. You're a badass. I love how everyone's throwing up the horns, man. Let's get it. Metal Thursday, baby. Ace Gamer, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Says, purchasing more free time for AJ. Please insert coins to continue. I love it. I got that reference because I'm old. I miss quarters and putting them into machines to play games. Actually, arcades are still pretty cool. Wherever they still exist, they're actually really awesome. And now there's VR in them, which is even better. PSVR2 tag, what is up? Thank you for the donation. Says, hi, AJ. Hello, PSVR2 tag. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, all of you guys. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely week and a lovely Thursday night. Way more exciting than this day should be. But it is awesome, man. I love it. It's just awesome that some of these games and stuff, some of the releases, it's kind of hard to track. The VR scene is really tough to track in terms of what's going to be good, what's going to be bad. Even the stuff that seems like it's going to be really good sometimes isn't. But what I love about, if there's one thing I love, I come from a day and age, like many of you probably do, where the game that you buy at launch is the game you get. Like that's it. Once you buy that game, whatever's on that cartridge or whatever, that's the full game. So it has to be perfect. It has to be complete. And now we're in more of a digital era of, the games come, they get a day one patch and things like that. I will say, if there's one big advantage to that, is the way that games can receive updates, can receive, more additional content and stuff like, of course, I'll take the game just being completely 100% done all day, first and foremost. But if there is a positive half glass full way to look at it, is that like, hey, if some of these games come out at launch and they're shit, or there's problems, or they're disappointing or underwhelming, at least we know that they can get updated, they will get updated, and they will eventually be the games that we hope them to be. So just a little bit of positivity for your cup this fine evening. MRI Gamer, thank you so much for the donation, man. It says, have you had a chance to play the Tin Hearts VR demo that released today? Seems kind of like Lemmings in VR. Yes, MRI. I talked about it on Monday with Brian, and I hate it. It's really bad. It's very, very bad. Click turning and teleportation only makes me freaking nauseous. I know that's weird because that's supposed to be I know that's supposed to be for people that get sick in VR. But no, it looks awful. It looks like a PSVR1 game. And it's just, I don't know why they make it. It's charming. Like, it's charming. It seems like it has a good, it seems like it has like some good thought and heart into it, but it's just not it just doesn't seem like a good game. Macho says, AJ, but it's cute. Doesn't that count for something? No. Cuteness gets no points here if it sucks. Suckiness isn't cute, okay? Suckiness isn't cute. That's gonna be my next shirt. Guys, but you know what doesn't suck? What is up, Drunk Gamer? Old Darth, Kiwi D, Gustavo Brandas, says better deal to wait, cheaper price and improvement updates. Yeah, in terms of like the way games get updated these days, man. You know, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit upset about the Vampire Masquerade Justice launch. You know, I had a blast with it. I still have a blast with it. But it hurts. It hurts to see so many people having bugs. There's some people that aren't. Some people are having just the same experience as I am. So thank God for that. But there's stuff that people are talking about that I'm just like, I have no idea. I did not have any game-breaking bug. I hardly had any bugs, period. I had one minor bug in like a 10-hour, 12-hour session of that game. I had like one minor bug. And now people are having like game-breaking bugs. They're having crashes. I never had a single crash in the game. It's crazy, man. You just, it's so hard to tell. But anyways, like I was saying, what doesn't suck, guys? We are here to talk about the main headline of today, and that is Barbaria. Dude, this game, y'all. This game. Barbaria is an action dungeon brawler. Okay? But that's like, hold on. Stay with me here because it keeps going for a while. It's an action dungeon brawler. The first thing that you notice when you get into this game, the first thing I notice is that, good God, my arms are ginormous. They're so huge. And then I slowly started to realize that this game, look, I'm beating my chest. Ooh. This game is actually really freaking funny and combines a good combination of a lot of things. For me, this game has kind of honestly scratched a little bit of that Gauntlet itch for me. I don't know if any of y'all have played Gauntlet, but we've had some games kind of attempt this Gauntlet style gameplay in VR. And honestly, this is the closest thing. But hold on, because it gets way more deeper than that. I'm showing off some gameplay here, of course. I love Gauntlet, but this game, you know, combat wise, it kind of looks like a mix between like Swordsman and Gorn. But to me, this game is like, okay, this is like a Gorn for adults, or this is like everything you would want Gorn to be. What I'm basically saying is this is 10 times better, because it's a Gorn that actually has like a progression system and mechanics to it, like actually really smart mechanics to it. Graphically, it looks fine. It's mostly sharp and clear. It has good lighting, and it has full body IK, as you can see. It's got some use of haptics, but the combat, the physics, everything feels really, really good. The melee combat here, you can hit them once and then you can chop, or you can hit them and weaken them and then chop off their head. And the goal is basically these levels, the way the levels are laid out is where you have these little portal things here, and to win, you basically grab a crystal and break it. Now, this is the main menu here, the hub area. There's the this is the thing that this game does that is mind-blowing. So this menu, this game is supposed to be all like gothic looking and medieval or you know, like barbarian or whatever. And I love these little goblins right away. I'm gonna try to avoid as much spoilers as possible here because I don't want to ruin any of the laughs. Because I found this game to be very, very funny. There's lots of games that like really try to be funny, but I don't find them very funny. You know, it's just like, it just comes like, there's so many games I play where it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be humorous and stuff, and it just doesn't, I don't find it funny at all. This game I find hilarious because it's almost like it's taking itself serious, but it's also doing these absurd things. That I don't want to spoil. Like I don't want to spoil it, so I'm gonna leave out a lot that will maybe make it a little hard to understand. I'll give away a little bit, but there's like there's something on my mind right now that I want to say so bad, and I'm just like I can't because I want you to experience it if you're gonna play it. But yeah, man, physics, weapons, they all feel really, really good. The stuff reacts really well. There's a parry system, as you can see here. There's a dismemberment system, like you would like in some of these games, like a swordsman or a Gorn. But yeah, the combat feels really good. There's also ranged weapons like bow. There's much more. And then there's upgrades for all of these. You can get like hammers, swords, bows, all sorts of things, shields. There's more than beyond that as well. But this game is very, very interesting. Thank you, Andrew. This game does some things that are really, really surprising. What I love, you know, like I mentioned this a lot. Oh, look, hold on. Oh, shoot, we're missing it. Oh, I think I might have missed it, but I just shot a bow. And I shot their heads off of their body with the bow. Here, I'll leave this full screen for now so you can get a look at it, get a better look at the gameplay here. But this is super cool. Like those arrows like stick in their head. The combat is very satisfying. There goes one head right there. There goes another head. And it's really, really cool. But okay. But there's so much more, guys. So this game is basically there is like a leveling system here. You win, you get gold, which they call violence because like they say that's the only currency that exists in the game. There's a bunch of different challenges you can do here. Okay, one thing I got to touch base on real quick. Something that is absolutely super genius in this, and I'm going to give you a good look at it right here. This game, you basically, you're life-sized or whatever at the main menu. You've got like your upgrade stations. You've got all of this customization stuff. So this game also has like this base building and defense mechanic to it, that it's integrated into the game in a way where if you're not into base building, or things like that, or tower defense, things like that, it integrates it in a way where it's not like heavily involved. It makes it kind of like a fun level creation in a way. And as you level up, you get more and more cool stuff to make your dungeon that you create stronger. And then this is the really crazy part is that, other players online can actually select your base from the main menu, and they can go raid it, and you can put like NPCs, you can put like your own champion that you have, you can put them down there, and like he'll be like one of the things. It's like basically almost like a level creator, where to me it's almost as if this game is, I don't want to say endless because at some point it's probably got to get old, but at least for several hours, it's well beyond you getting your money's worth. There is like so much to do and build, and then have and then like other players rate it. And like it is so satisfying. What's really cool is that So you can go attack other people's levels. You play them just like you would any normal level. And like as the levels get higher and higher, their levels get more difficult because they're starting to put really hard shit in their levels. And it's just like this natural way of expanding the content. It's a very organic method of making this game kind of expand its own content. And it's, to me, it's absolutely a genius way. But this is the best part. When you come back from, let's say you, like, I turned off the game, like I played the game for a couple hours. I went to work the next day. I come home, and then this is the other thing that I think is absolutely amazing about this game is the replay system. Guys, this might have the best replay system I have ever seen in any game ever. Let's go ahead and show the replay. So you come back, I come back and I see that there's that somebody's raided my dungeon. And so I can actually come here and you get to see it, how it played out in this like miniature diorama form, but everything is shown exactly the way it happened, with all the special effects, with all the sound effects, with even the characters' movement. Like you can see people like adjusting their headset goggles and stuff while they're walking around here. This is, what is this? I can't tell if this is me or if this is my character or somebody else. I'm trying to see what is this. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, this looks to be my dungeon. This is somebody that came in and raided my dungeon, and I think, yeah, okay, so it said my defense failed. You see that? And you lose like 30 gold or whatever. Oh no, that was one that I won, I guess. But check this out. So here's a new guy. Look at the movements. Pay close attention to the movements. This is an actual player that came into my freaking dungeon, and he's like, you can see him like adjusting his goggles, and he's like getting his equipment, and it actually follows like his head movement, his arm movement, everything, full body IK pretty much. It recreates and shows a replay of somebody raiding your thing. And so like this is one where I actually, my defense held. Dude, I shit you not, this looks so good in VR. So this is my hero as an NPC battling this guy. I think I don't know actually which one's which. I think I don't know. Oh, okay. And so yeah, I was the blue one. And so my little goblin guy got him. And so you get to watch the replay. Now this is early stages, so I don't have like a super advanced thing, but it's saying my defense held. And dude, I shit you not, I sat here when I came back in this game. This was so much fun to watch. This was so incredibly fun. Look, here comes a new challenger. Here comes a new challenger into my dungeon. And he's just like wandering around. And he's headed towards the thing, and we're going to see how this plays out this time. But this is so fascinating to watch because it's so well tracked that you can see his head movement, his arm system, the arm moving and stuff. Look at him. You can see him like he's playing with like the head that's stuck on his axe or whatever. It's so cool to see how players interact with your level. And mind you, again, this is just a very early on of one of my dungeon. I haven't customized it like a ton yet. But it was still fascinating. And like you can see, like I've got my archers and stuff, and my hero and my other little goblin are teaming up against this guys. Guys, this was super cool. I love this replay system, and I love this build your own dungeon. You can build your own dungeon and stuff, and they integrate it into the progression system to where like it just makes you, it gets really addicting to where you keep wanting to level up your character. I can see the headset shaking because I was laughing so hard right there. I have laughed a lot playing this game. But yeah, and then you get rewarded for it too. Here comes another dude. like I couldn't stop watching these guys coming. This is all while I was away, and then you come back and it shows you the replays, and you can save all of your own replays too. Like you can save your favorite battles. You can save, like, it's got like a whole archive where you can save all of your, or view all of your battle history and everything. And so if there's something you really enjoyed or something you found really funny, you can watch them. But holy crap, guys, this system here, this replay system, has got to be one of the coolest damn things I've ever seen in my life. It is so fun to watch. And mind you, this is not even like my own. This is like just watching people rating my my base, basically. It is super cool. If you go into the game, and then if you go into the game, or into a dungeon or whatever, and like you do like anything you do, it will show the exact replay, exactly how it played out, but just like in miniature form. But all of your same movements, all the sound effects, all of the animations, everything exactly how it was when you first played it. Genius, you guys. It is an essentially, with these mechanics, it essentially becomes like an endless dungeon brawler. It's almost like I said, it's almost like a Gorn or a swordsman, but there's actually like there's more leveling up to it. There's really good physics. There's single player content in this too. You can do like choose to have single player content where you do you test your defenses, you build your base, and then you have NPCs come and raid your base. And you can play against just single player stuff. It's not online like 1-to-1. It's asynchronous. So you're playing against other characters and stuff, but you're playing against their NPC versions. And trust me, as the levels get higher and higher, they get freaking hard. Like people, and so that's the carrot that it keeps dangling in front of you, is like, you're like, oh, like there's leaderboards, there's upgrades, there's all this stuff. There's parts, and you can expand your dungeon areas. You can expand your defenses and all this stuff. There's all this stuff that just makes you want to. It makes you want to make like an extremely difficult dungeon for people, and like because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose, and so you want to build a really great one. But guys. It's amazing. There's also crossplay, or not crossplay, but it is cross-platform. So you can have like people on the Quest or the PC, whatever. There's a bigger player base to do this with. Ezek says, "Are there any puzzles?" No, but there's traps. There's spike traps. There's traps that like launch players. There's all these different statues that give like buffs and power-ups and stuff. And then, but yeah, at the end of the day, also, you're going into first person and you're just playing a badass, like gauntlet style dungeon brawler. It's so sick, dude. It is so sick. And it's $20. I am super impressed with this game. I was not, honestly, this game was not on my radar. I had zero interest in seeing what it was. I was like, oh, it's another Gorn. It's another Gorn knockoff, or like another swordsman. And I'm like, I've played a couple of these. I'm good. No, I was wrong. This game is awesome. Like, it has its own unique mechanics, its own unique game design. And then on top of it all, it has really funny humor. The whole main menu, while you're there, it plays like jazz music. It's like playing jazz music. You look up at the Barbaria sign, and it's got like Hollywood lights and stuff. They've got like, this is a classy ass game. This is a game for classy folk. Here's like I think this is like me playing against one of the NPCs, doing like they call it the ancient trials, where basically it's progressively harder every time you do it, but you can get rewards for this by building up your base and then letting NPCs come raid it, and you have to defend it, and from first person. That's the ancient trials. There's so many little things in this game though that are absolutely hilarious, you guys. I'm not going to spoil it because you need to go play it. If you're into combat and stuff, if you're into dungeon brawlers, I cannot recommend this game enough for $20. Uh, and yeah, and just what I can say is pay close attention to the text, the different things that they're showing to you. The way it's all presented is really good. Like, it is really funny. And it's really clever, and it's really just, it's smart, it's funny, it's awesome. It's super cool, man. I freaking love this game, and I'm thoroughly impressed with it. As a dungeon brawler, it might be the best dungeon brawler out there in VR. Like I said, to me, I'm a big fan of the Gauntlet series. And so it's nice having something in the similar genre. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close in terms of, like, you know, at the end of the day, like the simple game loop wise, there's a couple other things here. But dude, it is awesome. It is super cool. I highly recommend it. $20, good physics, good combat, good content, for $20 here. This game really surprised me, and, like, again, at the end of the day, it's also really funny. I wonder, do I get a good look at the sign here? This is me just, like, getting unlocks and stuff. I wonder if there's actually, look, you can see the Barbaria sign. You see it's got, like, the lights and stuff. It's so funny, man. It's got, like, the Hollywood lights. You can see some of the text here, talking about it. Like, this little guy with the sign is, like, showing you, he's, like, showing you things. But this is the world map right here. You've got your realm, which you can click on, and then it does this cool animation where it spawns. This is revenge. Any guys with these skulls is, like, somebody that raided your base and then defeated you, and then you can actually, it shows them, so you can go and get revenge on them, which is really cool. There's just all this stuff going on here. These are the different tables where you have all your parts. Here's the upgrade tree. Look at this little dude too. The little imps that are lying around everywhere are so cool, man. Yeah, this is like whenever you click on a level, this is how it spawns in, and you see it like this, and then you can upgrade, add more pieces to it. Dude, it is just super awesome, man. So cannot recommend it enough. I'm really afraid of spoiling it. But listen, this has got a big 2 thumbs up from me, man. It killed it with this game. It's so good. This is definitely like towards one of the top, one of my more favorite games that I've played so far. It really took me by surprise here. As far as like a score goes, I'm probably around an 8 out of 10. But I'm saying like 8 out of 10 with like a big thumbs up of approval. Yes, go buy it right now. Kind of 8 out of 10. Not like yeah, it's great, but it should have been better. No. It's really good. 8 out of 10 from the underground. Big thumbs up. Highly recommend. Go raid my base, and you get to name your character too. I named my character Morgolu. There's just so much funny shit about this, dude. I was laughing so much playing this game. It's so freaking funny. It's like Gauntlet, but it's funny. I can't, man. I can't. Oh my goodness, but awesome shit. Well, that is it for tonight, guys. I have off tomorrow, so I hope that I can do some streaming. Maybe I'll stream Barbaria. I took off from work because I'm extremely burnt out and I have no free time at all. So I needed a break from work. So I'm really glad to get a break tomorrow. I'm gonna have a 3-day weekend. I'm gonna try to get some rest. I'm gonna try to squeeze in some stuff to do for the channel. Maybe for the Patreon, for the channel. I'm definitely got ideas on some things I want to be doing. So hopefully I can get some work done on that. But Awesome Tatum says, "LOL, let's go driving." That's right. Congrats on your wheel, your G29 wheel, dude. Gran Turismo, baby. Oh, did you get the snow levels yet? Because holy crap, man, that's the thing. I don't have enough time to play all this shit, man. I haven't gotten to play or finish playing anything that I want to finish playing. There's so much more Gran Turismo. I mean, Gran Turismo took me I played that all last weekend, and I still haven't even. I still have so much more to play. But dude, Gran Turismo, oh man, between that, now Seventh Guest, now Barbaria came out. Dude, we are sitting pretty right now, man. This is some really, really good stuff, and I'm very, very excited about it. You know, again, it's never what when it comes, and PSVR 1 was like this as well, where it's like it's never really what you expect, but it's going to be awesome. Like the platform, the headset itself, the best games come out of nowhere, and the biggest surprises come out of nowhere. Of course, there are some that, like, you know, you have high expectations for, they deliver. Last gen, it was like Skyrim and Astro, Blood and Truth, things like that. Like, you expect those to be good, they are good, but then there's like all these other surprises, and that's the way this gen has been, which is like, you know, Resident Evil Village, you know that's going to be good. Resident Evil 4, we know is going to be really good. Gran Turismo was really good. The highs are very, very high, which is nice. And then there's like these huge surprises, like this game, like Barbaria. I literally didn't care. I didn't hear about it. I didn't really know about it. I didn't care. And then I go and play it, and I'm like, dude, this is so good. And now all I wish is just I had more time to do it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go get some rest and relax for a little bit. But I'm definitely gonna be. I'll try to do something this weekend, whether this 3-day weekend, whether it be tomorrow, do a live stream, or just work on some surprise videos for you guys. But yeah, man, I can't wait. Chaos says, anyone else having problems with the Tin Hearts demo not working? I didn't, but it's not very good. Sal, my dude, thank you so much for donating. Says, thanks to updates, we got No Man's Sky in VR. You rock, AJ. Thank you, man. Dude, yeah, No Man's Sky update. Oh my God. I haven't even gone back to No Man's Sky in probably a month. It is just, there's just too much stuff, man. There's too many games right now. I gotta keep, you know, unfortunately, I don't always have the luxury of picking and choosing what I want to play. I just have to play it all and get through it. You know, there's at this point, I just have some games where I go, I don't care. This looks terrible. I don't want to waste my time. That's the biggest luxury I have. But other than that, it's like, I can't even keep up right now, man. My backlog, I'm starting to get a backlog, and that doesn't happen with me. There's just so much good shit that I enjoy playing. Silver Nexus, my dude, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate you guys' support as always, man. Says, thanks for helping this Thursday suck. Just a little less. Thank you, man. Thank you all for being here tonight. I was really, really excited about today's show. Between the Seventh Guest, in particular between Seventh Guest and Barbaria, I was really, really excited about it. These games are awesome, and it's just, yeah, I love it, man. And I've been having such a good time playing Gran Turismo. Such a good time. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see what surprises are next. So cannot wait, guys. Well, I'm gonna get out of here for the night. What is up, virtual strangers? Thank you so much, man. Awesome Tatum says, for your 6-pack of IPA, we got Galaxy Kart 2. Thank you so much, brother. Yes, cheers to all of you. Good stuff, man. Hell yeah, thank you, Awesome Tatum. Appreciate you, brother. We still need to play Crossfire, Awesome Tatum. I still got like half of Crossfire. Amazing, another amazing game. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be probably working on another couple lists and stuff soon, so I can't wait to get back into that. I don't really necessarily have the free time for reviews for every single game other than doing them here. But I miss doing lists and tips videos, so I would love to do some stuff for those. But yeah, y'all take care of yourself. You be good. I really, really appreciate you as always. Thank you for those who are so supportive, which is each and every one of you. Thank you for watching each and every week. The channel is doing great because of your support. And man, I can't thank you enough. There's good times now, and there's good times ahead that I can't wait to be had. But let's get out of here as always with some metal, because I want to say we got to cue the cat here, I guess. Thank you, Chrome Colossus Salvador, my dude. It is the best problem to have, my friend. Oh, hold on. I might need to... I might need to turn this down a little bit because last time this was too loud. Night Guy Son, fist bump to you. Chrome Colossus says, haven't found a multiplayer match in Galaxy Kart just yet, so we may need to rely on Discord. Yeah, probably the best way to go there. Aceville VR, what is up, my dude? Good to see you, homie. Silver Nexus, thank you. Says, take care, be thankful, and game on, Game Cats in the PSVR Underground. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Double M Gaming Witness, I see you. Dude, you've got to try the, you've definitely got to try the Gran Turismo update. It is so good. Do the weekly challenges. Those are, I forgot to mention those on Gamescast and stuff, but the weekly challenges are really, really good. And then, of course, do the snow tracks. The snow tracks. Try oval in reverse at night. Do that with the quick match settings on the Lake Louise in America's Canada. You got to check it out, dude. So good. And I highly recommend one of the WRXs or like the F-150 Raptor or something. Oh man, over there it says won't be happy till we get Silent Hill in VR. Yeah, that would be really, really nice. Let's see here. But guys, there's so much more to talk. I could talk so much more about stuff, but I'm gonna get out of here for the night. I will talk to you again soon. I'll see you in Discord. Make sure you join our Discord in the description. Thank you to all of you who donated. Thank you for all of you who came out and hung out. Thank you to the moderators. And man, I will see you guys again very soon. Y'all have a wonderful night. Oh my God, Macho times 3 says Barbaria needs to let us collect the heads of the players whose bases we conquer. That would be cool. And they have to beat yours to take it back. You know, I will say one more thing about Barbaria, is that there's like emotes and stuff you can get. There is customization. Make sure you go check out the customization because there's a nice little funny surprise waiting for you there. But yeah, there are different costumes and you can customize the colors. You can customize your banner. You get to name your character that always displays when people raid your base. There's so much more to this game that I really could go into, but at the end of the day, it's just really good. And if it looks like something you would enjoy, which is a dungeon combat brawler, go get it and just discover it for yourself because that's the way. Just go in blind and go check it out yourself and figure it out. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. I'll see you again very soon.